Hi, my name is Jonathan.
I'm Mike.
And I am Bryce.
Thank you for joining us with the Jedi Archives. Every week we go through some cool comics with you guys and review them all. Today we're going through the Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Galactic Bake Off Spectacular, which is obviously just one-off, it's just a fun issue. I don't think it has anything to do with the real story, but still really fun. So you guys, what did you guys think of it when you guys read it?
Oh, it's cool. It was a lot of fun, and then obviously they did a little side story, a little bit more focus on buckets of blood there, Master Torben. That was cool. Fun.
It was fun, and I like the little connection with Trail of Shadows. You get when there's one part in Trail of Shadows when they go onto the Starlight Beacon, and we get a little glimpse of that. That's the part where this takes place.
Oh, that's cool.
See them one of the little backgrounds. So I always love the little cross connections. So it's pretty cool.
I love the silliness this one can get. So pretty fun.
Yeah, a lot of silliness. That's pretty cool. So here we are on League of Comic Geeks, looking at this issue, and it says Torben Buckets of Blood, Buck and Cantum Psi face off in a brutal, intense, ruthless bake-off. So Buckets of Blood and Cantum Psi are going to compete for this Galactic bake-off that takes place every year. And so we have the lightsabers and Jedi robes are put aside in favor of whisks and aprons as the two competitors bake Master Yoda's special pastry recipe. But the recipe requires one extra special ingredient, a story. So Buckets of Blood and Cantum Psi recount the tale of an epic battle as they whisk away, both hoping to win the prize of Padawan approval. So
what I found was really interesting about this one was this is the most we see Cantum. I mean, he's in almost all of them, but he's really background. He's just like, look at that. This one's like he's in it a lot, which is funny because it's the Bake Off issue.
Right. But I like that we get to see him.
Yeah.
So here's the main cover. And we have Torben Buckets of Blood there and Cantum Psi. I like this. I like this drawing.
Yeah, me too. Did this one have variants? I can't remember.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. But I've never seen them.
No, the variant? No. It's coming up. So this is the main cover. And it says one shot. So I like that it has like that High Republic emblem behind them, and they've got their lightsabers. And I like these lightsabers because they don't have the hilts. They're just like normal lightsabers.
Yeah.
That we're used to. Then the variant cover.
It is a variant, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, retail incentive. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been a tough one to do. If it was 10 to 15 to sell those. So yeah, there's probably not a lot of this one out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty rare.
Yeah.
But now that I know about these retail incentives, I'm gonna ask my comic book shop to save me this. The RI.
I think they have to order so many in order to get it, though. I think that's the thing. Like they have to put in the order with like IDW X amount, and then they are able to get this. So they have to play off how many think they were going to sell through. That's the big thing with comic book stores. They won't order really too many more than what they know they're going to sell.
Well, I'm still going to tell them I want the RI version. So if you order 10 and you get an RI, I want it. So.
And Mike will buy the other 9 issues that don't sell.
Yeah, that's true. I should. But this is a cool, colorful issue. It's got the pastries there.
Look like they're about to move.
Well, based off of this cover, I see a clear winner.
I think they realize,
I know who.
You see pride in one face, concern in the other face.
Yeah.
Still, it comes down to taste, though. It doesn't matter. It looks pretty. Maybe his taste
looks really good. When it looks that good, it's got to taste pretty good. Because the other one looks pretty bad. And so we've got that cover. Let's go over to the issue. Do you have to reshare it? Can you see the cover here?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, cool. So here we have it. the Star Wars High Republic Adventures Galactic Bake Off Spectacular. And I'm a little sad because this is going to be the last IDW High Republic comic that we'll review. Because IDW's out of the picture now. This is it. So, and I really enjoy the IDW series. I thought the Adventure series was really cool.
Still have the offshoots like Monster Temple Peaks IDW.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You're right. Yep. We could.
But I meant the Adventure series.
Yeah.
No more Star Wars Adventures, High Republic Adventures. But you're right. So here we are. Oh, I always love it when we start with my little friends. They're so cute.
First page is great. Like I can visually see this being in a start of any movie, just like trying to eat each other's going nuts. Yeah, it's great.
So we've got Cham Cham there. We've got the Bombrax. And then one thing I learned about the Bombrax is they speak, these are sentient beings, right? And so the Bombrak language is very similar to the Anzellan language. So Bombrax and Anzellans can actually communicate, they understand each other. So imagine it's kind of like Spanish and Portuguese, where even though they're different languages, I can kind of understand Portuguese and they can kind of understand Spanish. It's pretty cool.
Well, what are the Zellans? Is that
the Anzellans? It's I Babu Freak. He's an Anzellan. So Babu Freak is an Anzellan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're about the same size. Remember, Babu Freak's still a tiny thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Hey.
Yeah. I love the Anzellans. So they're all kind of cute. You have the Cham Cham. I want these characters. So Cham Cham's so cute. And these are the Bombrax that Ram Jam rescued, right? Remember, they're an endangered species, and I think they were.
Yeah, they help them with VT. They help with the modifications with VT.
Because he had one Bombrax with him, and then he rescued the other two, right? That were going to be cooked or something. They were captured.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, I think it's in I think Mission to Crash Point Tower book.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
I read it, so vague, but I trust Mike because he's rereading all this stuff. And it's a little bit more fresh in his mind.
But that part I love. I love all that. And so here they are. We don't know what they're saying because they're just speaking their creature sounds, but it's awesome. I love it. They're super cute. You know, they look like gremlins.
Yeah.
And then here we have the intro for the great Jedi baking day of baking baked things and buckets of blood, baking the baking scene. And there's Porter Engle, there's Ram Jamaram. It's a little of the some younglings. Oh, and then Ram keeps saying wizard, so he's the one who invented. So Ram is the origin of wizard as a slang word in Star Wars.
You guys notice where he keeps his lightsaber hilt too?
Right here off the shoulder.
It just doesn't tell you like how unique of a Jedi he is. It's quite refreshing that he's not like anything else. Very mechanical, like engineer oriented. No, doesn't even carry his lightsaber on his hilt. More than happy to be doing a bake-off as well.
Yeah. And there's Porter Engle, there's Cantum Psi, and there's buckets of blood.
They're all getting ready.
Yeah. And then Porter Engle's like, you know what the most important ingredient is? And Ram's like, lard. It's pretty cool because, we use lard in our cooking. So lard is delicious. We don't use it so much anymore, but I remember growing up with it and it was in everything.
Yeah.
Refried beans, we had lard. Everything has lard. It makes it so good. It's like adding bacon to your food. So he's like, no. He gives him that look. He's like, oops, sorry. So they're introducing what the whole origin of this Galactic Bake Off is, this competition. Oops. What happened here? Oh, double skip. So here we go. So, and then it talks back about the great disaster here, which we know is what happens in Starlight Beacon. It's the light of the Jedi is the intro for the whole
Yeah,
High Republic for us.
the ship blows up in hyperspace and kills billions of lives because it just rains down terror across the galaxy.
And we know that that was caused by the Nile.
Yeah, the legacy was what you
Legacy
had to
run.
compare it to real world, like catastrophic, I guess, type events like the Titanic, right? Like it was
Right.
huge.
I mean, but there's some entire systems destroyed with millions of people on it. Yeah, so it's
Right, because it's the stuff that fell out of hyperspace just when it was traveling at almost light speed.
Yeah.
So anything it touched, it vaporized.
Yeah.
So that was pretty disastrous.
Yeah.
Hence, it was called the Great Disaster.
So where are we right now? I'm trying to wrap my head around what's going on with this.
I think we're going back just a little bit, right? Like
He's telling the story of the Great Disaster.
Yeah.
Is that what's
That's his
going on?
story. Yeah. So this is happening after the Great Disaster, and he's
so
going back and
they're just helping people right now.
From the Great Disaster. Yeah, I feel like Torben's out there, and a lot of these people that they're rescuing here were, victims of the Great Disaster, and they're trying to get them back to Starlight Beacon.
Because Torben's really, his main mission is to save lives. So he's like a nurse Jedi.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we have this little back the tank here, which I'm surprised they have this back the tank because during the High Republic eras when they first discovered Bacta,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that they would have back the tanks already so fast.
Yeah, because one of the planets from the Great Disaster is one of the biggest Bacta producing planets in the entire Republic.
In the Hetzel sector, right?
Hetzel Prime. Or
I was going to say Hetzel Prime is what I feel is the right one. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but from what I'm reading is they've just discovered this new wonder plant or drug, which is the Bacta.
Yeah.
And so I'm surprised because they shouldn't have the Bacta tank yet.
Maybe it's not a Bacta. Maybe it's rubbing alcohol. I don't know.
Yeah, why don't you soak in this rubbing alcohol?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the top left one, I mean, it's definitely a Bacta tank. You can tell by the way it's structured and the little person floating in there.
Yeah.
It also looks like they have Bacta guns too, that they can pull from and inject directly into somebody, like that Bacta spray, like IG-11 had in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So his story is about they're retelling the story of the Great Disaster while they're baking, because the whole purpose is that when you finish telling the story, the baking is complete, and then you can see who the winner is. So giving us some background on this.
So right now they're gonna rescue a ship in the middle of the Great Disaster. It looks like the
Voyager Dawn, right?
Yep. There's a lot of Jedi actually on that ship.
Meditating, yeah.
And where we see a certain Jedi for the very first time.
And Torben's like, we got to get out there and rescue them. So they're rushing. We have a Mon Calamari there, pretty cool. And there's a Voyager Dawn. I like being able to see the ship. So this reminds me of those.
Ship. Yeah,
it is
very cool.
I like it.
You feel like the circular part of the ship is probably like the big meditation chamber itself, where the Jedi all go and meditate, because that's one of the reasons why the ship is so important, is that's where a lot of Jedi go, like elder Jedi go to meditate.
And then we see that's Cantum Psi, right?
Yep.
Talking to one of the elder Jedi.
And Fambolia.
Master Fambola.
Yeah.
Fambola the Noble. He's like really frail. This reminds me of when the clones find what is it, 99?
Oh yeah.
Right? This is like all like hunched over. And then this part reminded me of the garden where Snoke it calls Kylo to Mio.
Oh,
remember when he
yeah.
calls Ben? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Good, Mike. Yeah, I didn't even put those two together. That's
I
good.
don't think it's the same location, but it's very similar to
No.
that.
Yeah.
Very
100%.
similar.
Yeah, I didn't even put that connection together. That's well done.
So he senses something's not right, right?
Yeah.
And then Cantum's telling him, well, you know what? Something's just off. You know, he feels a disturbance in the force. But he doesn't tell him. It's like, no, it's nothing. Then all of a sudden, you've got alarms blaring.
Yep.
Yeah.
All these shrapnels getting near you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, of course, from the great disaster. It's particles of the ship that's coming out of hyperspace.
Yep.
All over that sector. And then they realize something is wrong. So Cantum's I was feeling it. So it was sensing it, just wasn't sure what it was.
Yep.
Maybe he should have shared with the Elder Jedi and they might have figured it out sooner. But we'll never know.
I don't like how they have a Jedi that looks a lot like size 10.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Oh, yeah. You sure that's not him?
Yeah, it's not him. Yeah, for sure. I think we would have probably been privy to that.
It was cool, that double page.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on this page.
You even have that old Jedi, the one in the back that's 1,000 years old. That
The one that sleeps a lot?
yeah.
He falls asleep on the vessel, right? And then he wakes up and saves the day.
Yeah. Yes.
Because they go into a hibernation stage, right?
Yeah.
When he sleeps. Yeah.
Gonna wake him up when they got to negotiating.
Mhm. And we even have a Doug Jedi there, right? Or
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah, and you can definitely tell this is between the Rising Storm and the Fallen Star, because the one Jedi that we're talking about, I can't remember his name. The old one was I can't remember his name.
yeah, this guy.
Yeah. He gets taken by the Nile.
Right. So this is definitely before that.
Yeah.
It's taken in the books? Or,
No, this series. Issue 13, right, Mike?
I believe so. I can't keep track of everything.
Should be the review we post today.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched it yet.
Spoiler alert.
Watch it when I make it.
Who's this alligator guy?
He reminds me of that one
It's like a mole.
pod racer from episode 1. With the long bill, the teeth that come out the end.
Yeah.
I just don't remember what their species is.
So we've got these kids here.
Just whisking away.
That reminds me of also the holiday special when she's whisk, whisk, stir, right? Whisk, whisk, stir, stir, whisk, 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 stir, stir, whisk, whisk. I'm a big fan of holiday specials. Sorry, guys, but I love it. I saw when it came out, so I'm addicted. And I was a kid, so it's perfect for kids. What do kids know? Are they using eggs? Cool.
Ram.
Yeah.
Ram Jamaram. All right. So on to the next page. The story continues while we see that they're whisking and baking while they're telling the story. So here we have, they're sending someone for rescue. So they're coming in to help those meditating Jedi. Like,
And we can see
no problem.
fire burning pieces of the legacy.
Yeah, the legacy run, falling out of hyperspace lanes. And there's just like so much shrapnel. And they're not sure how long it's gonna survive. So like they have to do something. It's Torben, right? Torben Buck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He goes up. Let me get out there. And he's using the force, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
moving
so-
the shrapnel away from the path.
Which is very similar to what it's a little precursor hint to what all the Jedi do to save Hetzel Prime
Yeah.
when Avar Chris connects
Yeah,
them all.
they was a much bigger piece that they had to deflect. It was
It
like
was a giant liquid Tabana barge that was going to go into the sun and
Yep.
cause that cataclysmic disaster that would have wiped out all of the Hetzel system.
Yep.
So, spoiler alert, if you haven't read that. It's really good, by the way. And just so you know, on the second reading, I cried a lot. So I didn't the first time I read it, but the second I'm like, no. So
There was some brutal moments in that book for sure.
but in the rereading, because then I knew the characters, so it was different. On the first read, like they died, who cares? Move on, So I didn't care for them, but now I'm more invested.
Because that was the first book. I was wrapping my head around what's going on, all these characters. I'm sure I've
Yeah.
missed some things or wasn't connected as much.
And then here we are back in that garden. And we find somebody that we're going to recognize because he's having like a little crisis, right?
He's hearing through the force or something. Like I don't.
Yeah, he's hearing all the screaming. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's hearing all the screaming.
Oh, because he's hearing all the people dying.
Or she. I think this is she. Sorry, I think this is a girl, female.
Okay.
Master Griswold. But isn't she like a Yoda species?
I don't think so. No.
No?
Mm-mm.
You're wearing boots. Yoda doesn't wear boots, so.
That's true. That's true. So she's hearing all the screaming. She's sensing all the fear throughout the galaxy. And then Cantum Psi comes in and is like, hey.
Oh yeah, she's got looks like 4, maybe 5 fingers. So yeah, definitely not the same as Yoda.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's got little hands. So he's going to rescue her. She's having her emotional crisis.
And they're really going hot, cold, like it's
Yeah.
middle of a disaster, bake off. Middle of disaster,
Yeah.
bake off.
And they're like, wizard story, so very wizard. So wizard's catching on. It's becoming the new hot it word. So then we're back onto the disaster. Like, okay, let's get all of you people out of here. I'm here to rescue you. And you're getting all those elderly Jedi.
Yep.
Oh, this makes me almost sad now because I know what happens to some of these people. Like they're having such a good time right now. And see how happy Buryaga is.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Well, we don't know what happened to Burry, so I'm holding out hope. Oh, wait, going back. So who is this character here?
That's what I'm saying.
That's Court.
That's Court, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Court
But a very, very grown Court without his mask. So that means it's
Yeah.
got to be
And that's
after.
Farzala right above him.
Mhm. We're just trying to figure out the timeline. And we know
Yeah.
Court lost his mask very late in phase 1 of the High Republic.
Yeah, it's definitely. I feel like it's definitely between Rising Storm and the Fallen Star. I want to say probably a little bit closer to the Fallen Star, because of Burry.
Right, because Burry's still there. So this
Yeah.
might be like the last of Burry. Just before, yeah. It's got to be really close to that. And then Burry in my rereading of the Light of the Jedi, he's so in tune with everyone's feelings and emotions. He's a very sympathetic character. Yeah.
breaking him down. I remember. Yeah, it's hard for him to cope.
So here they are. Oh, they're starting to get hit by all the shrapnel. So like, let's get out of here. Keep everyone moving. Do it fast.
they're all like really old. They're
Yes.
like gonna move.
Very, very old Jedi.
Yeah, and then there's one who doesn't want to leave, right? There's one who doesn't want to leave.
That's the one that Zatarum's after.
So this ship is just like a retirement home for Jedi. It's got the
Yeah.
garden. It's just like,
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Best way to describe it.
yeah.
Yeah. So then now there's another problem because they won't be able to fly through the debris field, right? And they're like, we have to go. We have to leave them, or else we won't make it. Nobody will survive.
Yeah.
So then here we have Cantum Psi, who's been trying to bring back that.
Griswold or
Yeah,
Master
yeah.
Griswold?
It's not Griswold. What is it? Griswold?
Master
Oh,
Griswold.
it's something like that, yeah.
Oh yeah, Griswold. Mhm. And this is a lot like in also Light of the Jedi, because a similar thing happens when they go back to. They go to this one. I think it's one station that got hit. There were 7 survivors, but there were really 8. So the captain goes back and.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Right? So this is very similar to that, because the engineer, he has the engineer trying to keep the, what's that thing that's gonna explode?
Yeah, they're trying to keep the reactor from, or
The reactor, core reactor, yeah.
Yeah.
That's similar to that. And so he's getting Griswold, he's getting her out. They're making it through. And what happens here? What happens in this slide, in this panel?
Yeah, I can't tell if he just got knocked over or she pushed him. I was a little confused there.
Yeah. Oh no, she saved his life. So I think she pushed him out of the way. Something was happening, a shrapnel or something was coming through. Because he tells her, here, you saved my life.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And she's like, you know what, I'm not that strong, but just be careful, because. Oh, it broke apart. Look at that.
So yeah, it's a little vague what actually happens right here. It's kind of like bam, bam.
Yeah, I
bam.
kind of have to follow. It's pretty broke up.
Yeah.
But the Krathum is whatever falls and breaks up the hull of the ship is what he gets pushed away from.
Oh, so something just took a chunk out is what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she had sensed it.
Yeah.
So you look at this panel, it's like, wait, Master
Yeah.
Cantum. And then she force pushes him. And then it split. So he might have been killed in that. He was going to be right there in that spot. And they're like, we can do it. And they're working together. And this is also similar to how Avar Chris joins all the Jedi to work together.
Yeah.
So they're doing a lot of mind melding in the High Republic era. And yep, they sealed it. So the integrity is there. And they're going through the garden. And it's almost back to the baking. They're like, finish the story. They're like, they're almost done.
See, they look so young in this one. It like really messes with my mind. I mean, Farzala and Cork look like babies.
Yeah.
I think it's just the art, which I'm gonna.
It's the art style, yeah. It's the art style, because Zint is the one that should be looking like this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zint isn't there yet, is he?
No.
So this is right before Zint gets introduced then.
Yes.
Right before, because Quart's mask is off.
Yeah. Which. Yeah.
So Quartz should be older, and so should Zine and Lula.
Yeah.
I think it's just the art style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
A little bit more.
Maros in there.
It's like a little bit more anime style here,
Yeah.
or manga, however you want to.
Yeah, it is. Who's this one in the back?
Great question.
Because I see Cantum Psi and I see
Porter.
Porter Engel, and then that old one that hibernates and sleeps all the time. There's the Doug Jedi. I don't know who that Doug Jedi is either.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then that one in the back, I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. I know the front two. They say earlier in the book, one of them's Gambino. I don't remember the other one. But
Gambino's the one in the. Is Gambino the one in the left?
No, it's one of the two right in the middle, right at the very front.
At the bottom of the page?
Yeah, it's Gambino and something else. I can't remember the other name that they mentioned earlier in the book. I'm just drawing a blank right now.
So then we get back to the story because it's about to finish. And remember, he was Buckets of Blood was going up to the top to see if he could do, because they had to leave.
Yep.
He flies up to the top and he sees we have Cantum Psi and Griswold floating out through space, similar to how Leia did, and also Kanan.
Yeah.
Still surviving.
And notice on the panel on the lower right, we had blue thoughts and orange thoughts, and then they are together at the very
Merged. Yeah, that's right.
We've seen that a lot with Lula and Zine.
Yeah. Wait, what happened here? What's going on?
Did they already take off the older Jedi from I think they already have transported them to their ship at this point.
Yeah, because I think the next slide shows one ship going one way, one going another.
The Vector, right?
Yeah.
So the ship with all of the Jedi is going to the left, and then the Vector is going to have Buckets of Blood with Cantum Psi and Griswold. Also, that's what happened. Yes, because here on the left panel, you can see it's Buckets of Blood. And on the right side of the left panel, you've got what's happening on the ship. So they're going to meet each other. They're going towards each other. And the last panel is where they meet. And that's the end of the story. They survive, they rescued them, and then they're eating all the pastries. And who's the winner?
They don't say, do they, huh?
No, they don't.
And that's the end. But I'm thinking the winner's going to be Buckets of Blood.
Oh, did you see that panel? The one bubble? Weren't we supposed to save these for the winner of the Great Jedi Rumble race? So this is right before the Great Jedi Rumble race.
Oh, yes. And that's actually where we saw the panel from Trail of Shadows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not in this one. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So I think that's around, I think I remember it was around issue maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10 in the Republic Adventures. So this is right around there, I guess.
Yeah.
These timelines are tricky.
Yeah, it's almost like this one takes place right before. Yeah, it takes place before that.
Before the Great
so that
Jedi
puts
race.
it close to the Falling Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then here we have, of course, this panel, part 13. Oh, it says here, it's right before part 13.
Oh.
Yeah. The end. Incredibly Wizard. No. Oh,
that's
and
really
it has a recipe.
I actually didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I like that about this issue. You can actually bake Yoda's recipe for this sweet custard cakes.
This is just one? Wow, this is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's
a lot.
Recipes. Holy moly. But if you see in the background, you can see the cakes they made. One looks just like a blob and one looks so nice.
And I'm wondering if this is like a Star Wars spelling of preparations, because it says preparations, and they did it twice. I'm like, okay, they intended to spell it like that. So it's like Is it like Ram Jamaram's writing it, or who's writing this? But that was pretty cool.
Maybe I'll
I
give
do
it a
want to
shot.
try this.
I think it's-
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a lot of extra words than I need. But yeah, it's fun.
but this is pretty cool to have the recipe with this issue.
Uh,
And it goes to the covers.
you ain't gonna look like that when I'm done with it, though.
Is it gonna look like buckets of blood
No, it's gonna.
or Cantum Psi?
Yeah, it's this pile.
Well, as long as it tastes good, Rice is right.
Yeah.
Comes out of taste. So, what did you guys think?
Cool issue. This was kind of a little bit hard to tell with the timeline there for a little bit where it was.
I think
A little tricky.
the real purpose of this one is to build a friendship with Buckets and Cantum. I almost wish this would have been earlier, because these guys are like always hanging out through these Republic issues, the adventures ones. They're like the ones telling the kids where to go. We don't really know anything about them, and then we get this. I'm like, well, this came a little late, but it's really cool. I still like it a lot. But you do see how they meet. I'm assuming they meet here, but this is where they start becoming friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is them telling the story. So,
And I like the connections to the retelling of the story of the Great Disaster.
yeah.
So it's nice little wrapping it all up together.
For sure.
So final thoughts, guys?
Oh, it was great. I really love that we really introduced Wizard a lot. No, Wizard. No. It's like, which is cool. I like we get some Buryaga. He doesn't, I think he has any lines, but we see him like 3 or 4 times just smiling. So I'm like, okay.
I know, it makes it sadder.
Yeah.
Stop it, Jonathan. Stop it.
You get a lot of actually a lot of Buryaga story in the little kids books, the little like paper,
Yes.
and like those are all Buryaga centric.
Yeah.
So those
Have you read those, Jonathan? Those are really good.
I actually have them, and I think I read. Yeah, I have read them. Well, actually, no, I've read the ones I have, and I think I only have 2. I think there's 3 or 4.
Yes, there's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. They coincide with the adult novels.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, when I first started seeing them, I think I have one right here. I was like, well, they're going to make Buryaga. This is what I was assuming, because he's on the focus of the kids book, like the kids character. Like you're going to have adults books and you have just different levels. I mean, there has been a lot of levels. And like, all right, the Buryaga was going to be the kids centered character. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
do that to kids.
You don't do that to kids. That's right.
But they write them. They do write those stories with a little bit more positive twist than what the actual novels are, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely make them a little bit more heroic than tragic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But
But how do you positively write Burry dying?
Look,
yeah, I'm like,
there were 2 things, as a parent of, and Mike, because you sat here on Zoom, how Sophia is. Her favorite person is Chewbacca, and then you introduce Buryaga as a Jedi Wookiee. She's already attached. And the 2 things I feared the most were in The Rise of Skywalker, Chewbacca was actually going to die.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I was like, well, then I can never let Sophia watch this. And then the children's book, after reading the adult book, like, how do I read this to Sophia? Because I don't want
I know.
make it. I'm screwed. So
No.
yeah. So
Well, just like in The Rise of Skywalker, Chewie didn't die. Spoiler
Right.
alert.
Yeah.
But that was a cheap shot because I remember my initial viewing of that movie, when I saw that, I'm like, no.
my eye sunk. Like I had this pit in my stomach. It was bad.
At that moment, I said, I hate this movie. I hate it. But no, I don't hate it. I love that movie. It's good. But at that moment, I was like, this can't be. So
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's going to be a similar ending for Birdie.
Yeah, let's hope so. The fact that it's being super marketed for kids and all these books, he's the main character. Like my nephew's 2-3 years old. Like he could read these. He can't read anything else. Like he can follow these.
Right.
But then, oh yeah, Barry-Og's gone. It's like
Right.
this words as Elzar realized Barry-Yaga was missing. That's pretty much all it says. I'm like, so I'm like,
He's missing. Yes, he's
Right.
not dead. We never saw the body, so
It's just true, but we also don't know the fate of a lot of the Jedi that were on Starlight Beacon, because
Yeah.
we know Torben was on there, we know Farzla was on there, we know Court was on there. We have a lot of the High Republic Jedi that we have just covered were on Starlight and we don't know who was on the ship with Bell when he rescued everybody. We don't know. So
right. So we need phase 2. Actually, we need phase 3.
I do know there's a line. I don't know if you read these. The line at the very end says, Barry-Yaga's still missing because I'll find you, Barry-Yaga. I promise. So I think that's
kind of like a Sabine going after Ezra type.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I just can't, we're gonna have to wait like
But it's gonna be phase 3. Yeah, phase
Like
3.
like a year, right? Maybe more.
More because
I think
phase 2 goes back.
Phase 2 is gonna go start in October.
Oh my god.
And we know that's gonna be a whole year before it comes back around.
Right.
You know, and then probably what? They'll probably April of 2024
Yeah.
we'll get phase 3. Like it
Yeah. At the soonest, yeah. So it's gonna be a long wait. But it's good to be anticipating Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and to be talking more about written, right? Like they've never even said we're going to put this on any kind of screen,
Yeah.
you know, of any kind of capacity. Everything right now is just all books, and Star Wars Insider.
Yeah.
Those little blips and that they do in there. So yeah, phase 1. Well, I mean, we're not done. Obviously, we still got more to cover, but done with the Star Wars High Republic adventures.
Yeah. If you guys have been following us, we've gone through all the Republic adventures now, just the main story, and then we did like this is actually technically it's a one-off. So it is part of that group, but it's still a one-off. You guys are always back and watch them. They're always fun. We're gonna start moving on to some of the other High Republic stuff soon. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. You guys, anything else?
Nope, I'm Mike signing off. So may the force be with you.
Yeah, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you guys.